Hello and welcome to another episode of the Anime Outlook. Now today we'll be talking about the differences between Shounen, Seinen, Shoujo and Josei anime and manga and the different genres in which they encapsulate. However, first please do like and subscribe, as by the end of the year I'm hoping to have at least 100 subscribers on this channel, hopefully, so please do help out with that. And let's get to the video, shall we? So to start off with, I'm just going to say that Shounen, Shoujo, Seinen and Josei, they're not actually genres, they're more demographics in the manga and anime scene. So the terms have nothing to do with the content per se, although there are obviously tropes within these demographics, such as Shounen tropes, which a lot of you will probably be familiar with, such as tournament arcs and training arcs and so forth, and war arcs. It's all a major fad in the demographic itself. Now I'll be doing this in the order of popularity between the four demographics, and that will be going from Shounen, then Shoujo, Seinen, and lastly Josei. Now of course the number of works made for this certain demographic naturally matches the size of the market. There are much more shonen manga out there, so shonen manga is going to be the more popular out of the four. So let's get into our first demographic. This would be the shonen demographic, which is for children, and the content of shonen manga and shonen anime generally deals with exciting stories about adventures, friendships, sports, fantasy and such, with villains, demons and saving the world. And these works are also show off having guts and that hard work pays off, really showing a positive message to the children that are reading. As well as this, gag comedy is another common genre in the shonen works, as it is more directed towards children. Now shonen anime doesn't feature a lot of gore or erotic scenes, though it may have blood, death and fan service, and even ecchi, which the adult fans of shonen will know what I'm talking about. As well as this, the romance in the works are usually terrible, and a lot of shonen works fall into the harem genre, unfortunately, and feature a guy surrounded by a ton of girls who all seem to have mysteriously fallen in love with him, even though sometimes he is a useless character that doesn't deserve any women. It's just how the shonen genre works, as well as the fact that sad endings and themes featuring loss are typically avoided if you're not counting. They're more about being hopeful and overcoming problems and having funny moments, hanging with your friends, a true message to the younger generation. Now, a true example of some of these shonen anime and manga is such as Hunter x Hunter. You've got Assassination Classroom, Naruto, One Piece. A lot of them have a lot of comedy, such as like Fairy Tail, Seven Deadly Sins. There's a lot of comedy there. Now in Japanese, the word shonen would typically mean boy, which creates the common misconception that shonen manga is targeted at exclusively boys, which for the most part you can see, but it's not completely true, as many themes of shonen manga, such as hard work, friendship and so forth, are popular with both boys and girls. But indeed some shonen manga will still be more popular with boys than girls due to their content. Now moving on to what a lot of people and a lot of manga fans would say is probably their least favourite demographic, which is the shoujo demographic, even though I personally am a huge fan of shoujo manga and anime. And shoujo in Japanese means girl, so it's commonly seen that shoujo anime and manga are geared towards women and girls. And like shonen, shoujo manga are anime meant for children, but specifically girls, not boys. This is because shoujo heavily features romantic themes, love stories, dressing up, and plenty of pink coloured backgrounds with hearts and flowers and other effects on them. As well as this, shoujo usually has a female main character and is told from a female point of view, which a shonen would normally be told from a male and a boy's point of view, a teenager, and shoujos includes plenty of female remarks like, this boy is so pretty, I love this guy, he's so cute, and so on. Sorry, that was a terrible girl impression. And some examples of shoujo anime are like Cardcaptor Sakura, or an host club, and so forth. Now moving on to personally one of my favourite demographics, which is the Seinen demographic. And Seinen means young adult, and Seinen anime and manga are the opposite of Shounen. They are for adults and not for kids. Kids probably wouldn't like it, as it includes works that are either too erotic or too bloody, or works that do not deal with the themes that kids would enjoy. Although Seinen is targeted towards adults, this doesn't mean Seinen anime is an adult anime. It's not hentai. I mean, it can have pornographic tendencies, but it doesn't mean it's inappropriate for minors. An interesting example is One Punch Man, which is actually Seinen and not Shounen, despite having more action and funny moments and a lot of comedy. It's not a shonen, and it doesn't even have that much blood in it or anything. The reason it's seinen is because One Punch Man is about a guy who doesn't get the recognition he deserves for the work he's done, often being overshadowed by characters who brag about what they've done, which is more an adult theme of working full time and having adults sympathise with the pain that the main character is going through and laugh about, while kids will find this aspect more boring since the fights are always one-sided and there's no real obstacle to overcome. Now, some examples for a seinen is Black Lagoon, Mushishi, Arjin, very gratuitous. Now, lastly, we have Josei, which means female or female gender. It's the opposite of Dansei, which is male. Josei manga and anime are targeted to women, grown women, and are pretty much the seinen version of shoujo. That is saying, while shoujo anime is fun and exciting and about finding love, and Josei anime is more about dealing with love and family issues, it's more realistic and not idealistic, which shoujo is much more. And besides that, Josei will also include female remarks and a heavy female point of view, typically. Now, for some examples of Joseis there aren't typically many of them, but you've got a manga called Perfect World, which is a beautiful manga which I would recommend you to read. You've got A Silent Voice is technically a josei. Your Name is very much a josei as well. Okay, so now I'm going to go onto my anime list, and I've gone onto my anime list, and I'm let's look at the anime that has the highest score for shonen anime, and we'll compare the anime with the highest scores in the different demographics. So you've got Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood for the shonen anime number 1 score. It's given, I can't see the score, but I assume it's 9.21. Very good. So that is the best shonen anime as shown by my anime list, which of course isn't that reliable, as you see that A Silent Voice here is shown to be a shonen when it's not a shonen. So is my anime list that reliable? No, but it's a lot of people know about my anime list and use it, so I'm using it to show off the difference between the demographic. And now on to the shoujo. Top scoring is Natsume Yujincho Shi. I have not seen this, so I won't be able to compare it to FMA or Fullmetal Brotherhood. I can't say it like Nux or anything. Which is the first one I have seen? Nana. Nana is a great show, and it's got 8.46, not as high as Fullmetal Alchemist, but still a great show. And it is the top scoring shoujo out there on here. Let's see how reliable this one is. Not reliable, because it's got an Attack on Titan thing in the shoujo section. Come on, guys. You should get better at this, my anime list. And for seinen anime, you've got Free GatsuNoLion, 2nd season, 9.01. Now that is a top contender, and personally, it's one of my favourite shows. So I'm going to be looking at this with bias, obviously, because I don't have a group of people to tell me what they think, but please do tell me what you think about the different demographics in the comments as you like and subscribe. Now, let's have a look. Is there any problems with this? Not from what I see. Some great shows in the Seinen, top scoring. This seems to be the most reliable. Maybe Kaguya-sama isn't. I don't think it's a Seinen. I think that's more Shounen for me. I believe it's in Shounen Jump, so should be Shounen. Now, moving on to Josei. Now, the first show I could find that I knew on the Josei scoring was Sakamichi no Apollon, which is a great tale about a pianist and jazz and so forth and romance. It's beautiful, it's true drama, which is what I'd believe Josei to be, is more drama-esque. So this has got 8.36, and this is a great show. And now I'll be comparing them all together and telling you what I think is the best out of the 4 that I've just picked out. So now, ordering them from 4th place to 1st place. 4th place is Nana in the Shoujo category. That's not because I don't like Shoujo, it's just that I don't think Nana is the best personification of a Shoujo manga or anime, so it didn't end up well in this list. Now, 3rd place, which is a surprise, is Full Metal Alchemist, and I love Full Metal Alchemist. It is a great show. The way I order my shows is based off gut feeling and rewatchability, and I feel that 2nd and 1st place I could just watch again and again, which leads to 2nd place, which is Sakamichi no Apollon, which is a great drama show. I've watched it a multitude of times, and it's a Josei manga and anime, which is supposedly the least popular, and it's my 2nd favourite out of the 4, so you can't really trust these polls. So 1st place is the Seinen, which I believe that a lot of people would put the Seinen demographic as their 1st place, as I know a lot of people in the manga community do, and that's because you get such a depth and such meaning to the story as you do with GatsuNoLion, which is just such a great show altogether. And I'd like to say, don't use this to judge the demographics, I'm just giving information on them, and overall that's all I've got to say. And please do like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, as I did mention earlier, so please help me out with that, and I'll see you next time.